This is the iPhone 16. I've had it for a week now, and you may be asking, well, why are you talking about the iPhone 16 after a week, or making those videos like 24 hours later, 72 hours later, about a phone that really doesn't have too much change? It's not a huge drastic change from its predecessor. Well, there are people out there that are interested in how has the performance been, how has the use been of the iPhone 16, and they may want to upgrade from their older phone, whether that be the iPhone 15 or something older, or they want to switch from Android to iPhone. So I want to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions of using this device for the past week. And I want to start things off with this design because it's really grown on me. And one, I love the new color. And yes, you shouldn't be picking up a new phone in general or a new product because of its color. Although Apple did release the Ultra 2 in satin black, and I know there are some people that probably went and picked up the Ultra 2 in satin black, even though they have the Ultra 2 in the regular color. I have it here, but I didn't pick it up. I really wanted to, but I didn't, just because of a color. No way. But yeah, I love this Ultramarine, and I love the color lineup that they had this year with the iPhone 16s. But again, I don't think that's the reason you should pick it up, but I just do admire it. What I also do admire is just this matte finish to the back of the phone. It's awesome. Aluminum frame. So this phone doesn't really, it probably does have fingerprints, but you can't see it at all. So that is a good plus. Now, there's one thing about this phone that a lot of people are going to be talking about. It's the refresh rate. And yes, that is an issue to talk about because, I mean, you're paying $799, or if you go unlocked here in the US, $829. $799 is for the carrier models, and you're still getting a 60 hertz panel. Some may say that's completely okay, but when you look at its competition, phones like the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, these phones have 120 hertz displays, and they perform very well. I don't think there was any need of Apple kind of ditch it or just not adding 120 hertz. They could have made a 90 hertz panel and put that into the iPhone 16 if they wanted to leave 120 hertz as the Pro feature for the pros, because it's called Pro Motion. But rumors do indicate that it's going to happen for the iPhone 17 series. There's going to be a 120 hertz panel. Now, putting that hertz refresh rate thing aside, the display itself, it's great. It gets pretty bright, 2000 nits, and I have no issues with the display. Obviously, if you look at it with and compare it to the Pro 16 Pro and Pro Max, the bezels are much slimmer on those. And then when you come back to using this, you can notice it's a little bit thicker, but that's okay. That is completely okay. Just on a day-to-day basis of me using this phone the past week, I enjoy this display. It gets plenty bright, it gets plenty vivid. It's a good display. And I think the most important part about a phone is its display. And I usually, Apple every year, they don't disappoint. They didn't disappoint with the iPhone 16. Now, I also do want to talk about the camera control because it's a new hardware type of feature that's added to the 16s, as well as the action button. And I'll be honest with the action button, I don't use it other than mute switch. That's just been me. The camera control, it's a button. Apple doesn't call it a button. I'm going to call it a button. I'll leave that for the camera segment, but it's just a new physical thing that, it's either you use it at all, you use it all the time, or you don't really use it. And also the fact that the speakers on this phone do get pretty loud. So I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, I like this design. I like the new camera layout. That's for spatial, to record spatial video for those who have the Apple Vision Pro, which I don't. I'd still like to check it out one day, but I don't want to fork over $3,500. The software and the performance has also been great. Apple's A18 chipset, I mean, it's a great chipset. You can't really expect any less from Apple. They're going to perform really well, whether you get the A18 with the 16s or the A18 Pro with the 16 Pros. It's been performing really well. It doesn't have Apple Intelligence, so after 1 week, I didn't buy this phone for the promise of getting Apple Intelligence in the future anyway. If this phone never, got Apple Intelligence at all, I'd be completely okay with it. But knowing that Apple talked about so much, it's a part of the phone. We built the phone from the ground up for Apple Intelligence, and it's not here on launch day. It's not here a week later. They're saying it's going to come out in October in the US, and then later in the coming months in other countries. I don't know. It's just something I feel like they shouldn't have talked about too much, but that's just me. Everything else from day-to-day use, from browsing the web, using it for watching YouTube videos. I'm using this mainly for making content, for recording short form videos, for TikToks, uploading on TikTok, using it for threads, being active there, being active on Instagram, using ChatGPT, CapCut, my voice, using it for voice memos and recording voiceovers and all that stuff. And it's been awesome. It's been fluid, doesn't really get warm to the touch. The only time it does is if I'm going back and forth between CapCut, ChatGPT, mainly those two apps, just back and forth, very frequently. It gets slightly warm to the touch, but that's really it. I've noticed no other issues whatsoever. The cameras are also great with this. Now, they're not pro cameras, and if you don't need that ultra wide, then you'll be perfectly fine with the camera setup here on the iPhone 16 series. It's got the 48 megapixel Fusion camera. The quality is awesome, and the 12 megapixel ultra wide. And results are great, both in photos and videos. Again, that's why I'm using this iPhone mainly to make content, whether it be for photos and for videos. Camera control right here, I'm still using it just to kind of learn through it, but I don't know if I'm gonna become a huge advocate for camera control. I mean, it's cool. You kind of do a haptic, you press on it slightly. Like right now, I pressed on it and I took a photo. And actually, let's do this. There we go. And you can kind of use it as a shutter button. You can use it to change your zoom, just like that. There we go. You can press on it. You can press and hold to record a video. So it's got some good stuff going on. It's got some pretty good stuff going on. But I think it's not like that wow me feature that Apple really kind of tried to embrace in their presentation. So that's just me with the whole camera control. But again, my use, my experience. You might have a different experience. You might like it. You might not like it at all. I'm kind of in a neutral. The battery life for the past week has been awesome. Apple has promised better battery life with the iPhone 16 series, and this one does not disappoint. Great battery life on this. It's been lasting me all day. I've been using it with MagSafe charging, which gets 25 watts, super fast. Much faster than just 15 watts or 10 watts of wireless charging. 25 watts MagSafe has been very good. If this phone is lasting me all day and I'm using it for making content, for photos, videos, using it for TikTok and X and Threads and Instagram and all that stuff, I think it's going to last someone who just wants to use it for just calling and texting and emailing here and there. It's going to last them the entire day without any issues. I mean, right now I'm at 96% and I've been using it since the morning. It's been phenomenal. It truly has been phenomenal. In some cases, I'm going to have to do a test between the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro on a full day, but kind of comparing them, I haven't really heavily compared the two, but when I look at the numbers using them together on the day, I feel like the 16 performs a little bit better. And I want to talk about the pricing as well, because it's a factor about the phone. Honestly, $799 is all right for the iPhone 16, so it usually been at that price for the base model, 128 gigs. I don't know if you want to pick up 128 gigs. If it's enough for you, then go right ahead. For me, for this one at least, it's okay. But as I start to continue to use more, and I'm going to see throughout this upcoming year, if 120 gig is going to be enough for me just before using this for photos and videos. I don't have my other. This is not like my 16 Pro where I have, my other account. This is strictly for MTG production. So it's kind of like a brand new phone. So I don't have all my other photos and videos that I have saved and all my other, content footage saved onto this. This is a brand new phone, just doing its own thing. So it's got the storage, but we'll see in the upcoming year if I'm going to need that extra storage. But overall in the past week, it's been good. I think if you want 85%, 90% of what the pros have to offer, you don't need the Pro Motion Rate display. You don't need a titanium frame. You don't need the ultra wide camera setup and all that other stuff. This is going to be perfectly fine for you. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, definitely be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack. It's called Illusions 2.0. Links will be in the description down below. And definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, leave a comment down below of your thoughts about iPhone 16. And best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot and will help push my content out to more people. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.